I'm Caroline Pahuwa, registration number 3BB, and I'm going to talk about desert ecosystem. The word desert is a larger, broader, dried, abandoned land with flora and fauna in the sand. It may be cold and hot. The desert is the most dried up area on the planet that gets negligible precipitation on the annual basis. It receives less rainfall throughout the year. So, the desert ecosystem is the planet's driest ecosystem. And thanks it has less diversity of life and little vegetation. Being part of the terrestrial ecosystem, it houses of animals and plants and other living in harsh weather conditions. The desert ecosystem is devoid of any precipitation and rainfall. So the desert ecosystem is a community of non-living and living organisms living interacting with each other in abundant environment. It's the interaction between abiotic and biotic components of this environment. Here I'm going to talk about characteristics of desert ecosystem. Firstly, we have less rainfall and precipitation. Less precipitation is a significant desert feature and reason behind its dryness. Deserts receive seasonal rainfall that occurs for small duration, blanket, just around 25 to 30 centimeters. Second, you have aridity. Aridity implies the definiteness of dry moisture. As it explains less rainfall, its result is aridity. Wind velocity. Wind velocity is high in ecosystem. That's why desert experience dust storms or sandstorms of higher intensity forming dunes. Third, you have extreme temperature. This type of ecosystem experiences extreme hot and cold temperatures during night and day. The days happen to be hot while nights extremely cold. Humidity. Its humidity level is low in the daytime while it turns out to be high during nights. Population density. Population density happens to be low in deserts. There is a dearth of food, water, plus the climate conditions are harsh, which extremely to preferable for living. And we have scarcity of water. As it receives negligible rainfall, there is a scarcity of water. This shortage of water makes deserts experience drought for more than 6 months. And we have biodiversity. Surviving in the desert ecosystem is a challenge, but is in spite of this phase, desert house different animals and plants. They have adapted the survival skills to live such as extreme and harsh condition desert. Then we have soil quality. Desert are rocky, dry, sandy, and thin. Thanks it experiences low growth in vegetation. The soil is gray in color. It does not have any organic contents such as phosphorus and nitrogen. And here I'm going to talk about the types of desert ecosystem. There are 3 types of desert ecosystem. Actually 4. We have hot and dry. This ecosystem comprises dry and hot climate conditions and receives low rainfall annual. Extreme variation in the temperature are there where the soil is harsh and rough. The best dry hot desert ecosystem examples are South Asia, Central America, Africa, Australia, North America. Secondly, you have semi-arid. It's similar to the Pario one. This ecosystem has stable ground, hard rocks, and less sand, dunes, and temperature is an extreme. The best of the kinds of desert ecosystem is the Great Basin, which gets a good amount of rainfall. Thirdly, we have coastal. It's found in a larger water bodies. Coastal lines such as seas and ocean and infected by ocean currents. Bays receiving winter fog. The climate is hospitable. Nabi in Africa, Atacama Desert, Chile have a coastal desert ecosystem. Lastly, we have cold desert ecosystem. It complies abundant rainfall during winters and less during summers. It has chilling winters and snow for short summers and moderate moisture and hot climate. The ecosystem is covered with snow dunes, and the best cold desert ecosystem examples are Antarctica and the Nearctica Rim and Greenland. And I'm going to talk about the functions of desert ecosystem. Desert ecosystem happens to be a significant part of our planet in regards to of how dry and harsh this ecosystem is. It has functional play. Each function desert ecosystem is bullet point has significant part of contribution of the planet. Firstly, we have it serves the habitat to multiply species of animals and plants, and these animals and plants have adapted and they have survived in the extreme environments. Secondly, it acts as a carbon sink. That means the bacteria inside helps in storing CO2 or carbon dioxide in order to prevent it from getting into atmosphere. The desert ecosystem is a huge source of natural gas, oil, and minerals, and desert ecosystem contributes products of salt. It is a perfect ecosystem for preventing historical belongings of Mother Nature. So deserts have a huge significance in archaeological discoveries. They have unusual landscape and oases. People get attracted to skin beauty due to the natural formation. Thanks, deserts have become a tourist favorite location. This is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much.